G'day everybody, welcome to game number 2 from the IPSL little Korean tournament that went down between round of 4 action here, just by the way, between SinandShin, who is just up the on the left hand side of Metalopolis here, against his opponent who is down at the bottom, the very well known Sickness. So we'll see what happens in this game. We saw in that previous match that Sickness just came along with a really nice timing, some DTs coming into the mix, as we said earlier on. DTs making a slight amount of a comeback here in the PvZ matchup. They're very useful. You just got to be careful as a Zerg if you're not prepared for those DTs. Even if you are prepared with a Spore Crawler or two, you can still actually sustain a few losses, because if there's only if there's only a Spine around, or if there are only a few Lings around to protect these the drones, then you can still lose some of them, because the DTs, of course, will just one-shot those drones. Now, we'll see what happens in this game. I am expecting this to go a little bit longer than the previous one. Both these guys are very good at their craft, and as we can see here, it looks as if Sin is going to scout cross positions with that drone. He's not going to need to, though, because the Overlord has actually just seen that the Nexus is down here, and Sickness, also well aware, did see that the Overlord was just floating by. So we'll see how they proceed. It looks as if a gateway is going to go up here. No cannon shenanigans from Sickness. We've seen him do some interesting plays on this map against Zerg, using the old fast cannon trick, and then you put down some pylons over here and you just make it a world of pain for any sort of Zerg. And he is going to go for the double gas again. He's got that going up before the cybernetic score. Did Sin actually see that? No, he didn't. A little bit interesting here. If he does not get vision on that, that could be very interesting to see how he proceeds with his build, because if you don't see the double gas going up, you might not be ready for any sorts of the cool things that you can do with the double gas. Now, Sickness, meanwhile, has head inside the inside the Zerg base, I should say, and has found that the spawning pool is also just about to complete. Going to get some map presence with those Lings, and then we'll see if Sin is going to go for an expander. No, he's not. It looks as if we're going to have a proxy hatch here, actually getting this in a really interesting position here. Now, this is going to give him obviously some easy access construction for the Lings that he's going to probably build, or perhaps we'll see if he's just going to go for some roaches. But no, he still doesn't have the extractors yet, so I think this may be some sort of just mass Ling strat here from Sin. He's decided it's go time. Can see that the gas are both done here from Sickness, so there is a potential for some sentries to be able to defend here. And with the one Zealot just coming out, looks as if we had a pause there from these guys, unfortunately, but now they're ready to go, and we're back into it. Sickness still scouting out, being well aware that the natural has not been taken just yet, and now some drones coming along. It looks as if there are going to be some spine crawlers getting placed here at this proxy hatchery. Will Sickness be prepared for it? He does have a Stalker coming out. We'll see if that Stalker is going to be used for some scouting. It looks as if he will get that out in just a second. The Stalker will, of course, help against those Lings. Without speed, they will be very slow and not able to keep up with the Stalker, but the Stalker now coming outside, almost getting trapped against the wall. It looks as if he will be able to take down some of these Lings before they can get any damage done, and now the Stalker is going to try and get rid of the Lings before taking any of the hull damage, but he does remove most of those, and now we can see that Sickness is getting a little bit scared about what's going on. Does find that the proxy hatch is here. We've got 4 spine crawlers attempting to go up here from Sin. He's not prepared for the early Stalker. I would say it's not often that you actually see a Protoss get that quick Stalker out, and now beautiful force field there, almost trapping the Queen inside the hatch, and the statue there, Emperor Mengs, would have been happy with that, but the Queen is going to go down, not going to be able to spread any creep tumors here, which would have been the aim of Sin. He's going to perhaps lose this Zealot, but some beautiful micro here from Sickness is allowing him to keep that alive. The Queen now cornered in the back there next to the hatch. She does go down. The spine crawler, does take care of one of the sentries that was out as well, and now Sin is in a position to try and get this up and running again. We're going to have a robo, a couple of gates prepared for Sickness here. He should be able to reinforce this pretty quickly, but it looks as if this Stalker may go down. He is trying to protect that. There is one Ling that got inside. The Stalker just surviving on 6 HP. Meanwhile, back at the base of Sin, still just mining away. No drones coming up from him. The spine crawlers now moving up. They're starting their very methodical march towards the Protoss base. Going to probably see a creep tumor go down here. does get that out. That's going to extend that creep along. I don't think it's the greatest idea to try and push these spines up any further than here. You would want to try and make sure they can surround the ramp so that if Sickness tries to push out with his stalkers, they get just absolutely mutilated by the spines. But some nice control here from Sickness, taking a few shots at these at the Queen and then one of the Lings as well. Spinecrawler's on the move here. It looks as if this was a good time for Sickness to push out, but he's not going to be able to push too far. There are so many Spinecrawlers here with 3 already out, a 4th on the way. A lot of Lings also coming through as well, and now Prism on the way from Sickness. This is going to be a signature move from Sickness, no doubt about it. He's going to have that Immortal available to take down the Spinecrawlers. Here we are. They're just force fielding off, making sure that he knows that where each of these little Spinecrawlers are. If he can keep an eye on that and make sure that Sin is being very protective of this attack, he should be able to get that Prism out and then get some crazy micro going. Here it comes. Prism comes out. Sickness getting prepared. Going to pick up that Immortal and then probably go for the Spinecrawlers. Here we are coming down to the bottom of the ramp. Going to pick that up, drop him out, let him take a shot and then push him back inside. Spinecrawler is not going to be able to take any shots at that Immortal if he's careful with it. The Queen coming along trying to take down the Warp Prism, but he's not going to be able to. Another Immortal about to pop out here. Looks as if the Prism is going to head back across towards the Protoss base. Meanwhile, a Proxy Pylon has actually forced a little bit more defense inside the main base of Sin, and now the Spinecrawler slowly walking up. As I said, I'm not sure this is the greatest idea, but he has taken down the Pylon that was sort of making a little bit of a choke at the ramp there. But now with Sickness inside the main base of Sin, he's going to have a lot of trouble defending any of this. The drone's going to try and do what they can, getting a surround off on those Zealots. The Immortal is available to do a lot of damage to the hatch as well. The Prism, meanwhile, still just hanging out here. A little bit surprised he hasn't brought that back, but now the Immortal heading to the front here is going to be able to take shots at the Spinecrawlers, with the Queen helping out with a transfuse. The 4 Spinecrawlers are trying to do what they can, but it looks as if the Immortal will be able to take one of them down, and there is a GG because Sickness was just way in front with the Zealots warping in inside the main, the drones not doing any mining, and then Sickness was just ahead from there. So great job defending that. Good job scouting it out. I'm really surprised that he picked that up so early, but he was able to head down there, put some pressure on the hatch, and was then able to get the Immortals out, which of course helped greatly against those Spinecrawlers. So I hope you guys enjoyed that game. We'll head into game number 3 in just a minute, and we'll see if SinandShin can bring it back and get a game off the mighty next Sickness, or if he's going to go down 3-0. Jump into the link, which is just posted down there, and I'll see you guys in there. Cheers.